Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 49 of the Galactic Windows Space Podcast. My name is Nick, and sometimes when I order things from Amazon with 2-day shipping, I am known as the Orbital Alliance.
Hello, everyone. I am still just Tan, also known as Chasing the Milk. Welcome in.
That's right, and we are back with another space and astronomy themed episode because, you know, words and stuff. We're glad everyone's here, tuning in on whatever platform you're on, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite app of choice is. We're glad you're here because you want to learn about space, and so do we. So we're glad to see folks tuning in with us live. Gosh, I can't speak tonight, Tan. What the heck's happening?
Dude, I got you covered. I think.
Please.
We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe the nerves are just on because I'm just too excited for next week.
Oh, my God. It's next week?
It is next week.
Next week we have our big 50th special episode in Williams Bay, Wisconsin. So I'm right behind you. I think I'm pretty nervous too. We'll see how the show goes. Good to see everyone, though. Good to see everyone in the chat.
My sound is muffled. Should I crank it up a little bit? How's that?
I think it sounds good. Yeah, maybe let's just dial in our audio real quick. Chat, let us know. Does Nick sound good? Do I sound good? Can you guys both hear us equally, or are one of us louder than the other?
Yo, what's up, Carter? How's it going, man? Tan got the warm and cozy vibes tonight.
I am, man. Just got out of the shower too, literally like with 2 minutes on the clock.
Dude, bro looks good and smells good too. Dang.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have time to put on clothes. I'm literally just wearing a hoodie, completely naked, waist down. Nick never sounds good.
Yeah.
Dang, from Ron.
This is Ron's love language. He's fluent in Raz, and
love it.
Never lets it down when he has a chance. I also love it equally.
Kayla says typical Zoom attire. Exactly. Cool. We got a nice crowd. Seriously, guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. I can't believe it is already our 49th episode. Mm-hmm. And you guys probably hear this every single episode, but I am always just blown away every week by how fast time is moving. I think actually having a number set every week that you can tally off makes it really just like in your face.
Right.
Yeah. So episode 50 is going to be next week.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Dude, I'm already ready for episode 100. Let's go. Let's chase it.
Oh my God. It's going to be there before you know it.
Dude, I left my water downstairs. Nuts.
Go grab it. Go do it.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I think I just walked away without it at one point. Yeah, gosh, it's fun when you start to feel that momentum of reaching a goal. You hit a milestone, and then sometimes you start to get hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like the hunger is already creeping in for the next milestone, and we haven't even hit this one yet.
I was thinking of a different kind of hungry.
Oh no.
Damn. But yes, I know what you mean. Dude, Richard Jones says, prove it, you won't.
Yeah.
What if I just stood up and it just I wish I had this joke in my pocket where somehow I was like a like one of those blurred censored images.
Yeah.
That'd have been so perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, seriously, good to see everyone in here. We're super excited. I mean, that's all I can say. We are excited.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, let's not leave the good people of the world waiting. Let's talk a little bit about space and astronomy. That's where we're here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys, there's a little bit of buzz going on, and we're curious what you think, because we've talked about some of these elements on previous episodes, and it's certainly a conversation that has not ended in the world, and that is particularly what is the future of NASA? Everybody's kind of esteemed and maybe favorite space agency of the world, who has kind of constantly held this crown of being the entity that carries humanity along the frontier into space, right? done the most in terms of human space flight, human space exploration, space telescopes, and peering into the deep corners of the universe, probes going to distant planets and moons, and even beyond our solar system into interstellar space. Like, I mean, there are other space agencies around the world who have done amazing things, and they're doing amazing things, but really NASA has this broad-shouldered success story, right? But the future is uncertain because there's just so much in the world that's going on, and they're all kind of grabbing at this stage that NASA once held. Other countries are becoming more formidable, and certainly certain landscapes are influencing NASA's ability to do what they used to do, which was be a leader in the industry. And now it's kind of taking this shift into commercial space flight, dominating the scene. It's I think we've never seen it before. But the reason we bring this up is because there's been some news regarding NASA's budget, which, of course, is congressionally approved by the government because it's a government agency, and all of the people in Washington have to collaborate and sign off on how much money NASA should get every year and what that money goes to, which programs. So, that might mean astronaut training, that might mean rocket construction, crew vehicle construction, space probes, research and development, science, and all kinds of stuff that's happened, studies of past experiments, facility infrastructure, because there's more than one facility for NASA all across the country. I mean, the list goes on, but every dollar has to be allocated. So a big news item recently was a proposed budget for next year, which actually includes some wildly devastating cuts to existing NASA programs. And I thought it'd be worth discussing tonight. So let me know in the chat if you guys heard about this, and let me know what you think along the way. And
it's a pretty gnarly cut.
It really is. Pull up some of that news here.
Yeah,
just to make sure I've got the deets sharp in my head here.
I've got some of it pulled up on Chat GPT too. At a glance, it sounds like NASA's budget is slated to decrease by approximately 24% from 24.8 billion to 18.8 billion in 2026. There's a lot happening. The science budget faces a 53% cut. STEM education, $143 million allocated for NASA STEM engagement programs, is proposed to be eliminated. There's a lot to unpack, guys. What do you have you guys heard about this?
Right, and I think one of the big things to highlight here is, NASA, like I said, it's one of many government agencies in the United States government. So, you've got all these other departments that are grabbing at how much money the country has. And I don't remember what the percentage is right now, like the percentage of NASA's budget of the overall United States budget. But for perspective, I pulled up a stat here about in 1969, which was the year that Apollo 11 landed on the moon. And NASA's budget at that time was $4.25 billion with a B dollars.
Okay.
And it said that represented 2.31% of the total federal budget at the time. So if we adjust, let's see, the inflation here. Let's see. I wonder if I can do that. I mean, obviously, just thinking about it, the $4.2 billion in today's standards from 1969 to today, I mean, that's 50 plus years of inflation. That's a ton of money. Let's see. What is $4.2 billion?
Richard Jones says private entity and Space Force is now the lead. I agree. They're also allocating a lot of the stuff for like lunar missions too, lunar and Mars exploration, which like I'm not opposed to that. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a tricky one.
Let's see. I'm gonna have these numbers here. Pardon me as I calculate it.
Yeah, you're good
about this.
Do you think I'll read the chat here? Blue Eyed says NASA's budget. Oh, here I keep on forgetting I can pen stuff. There's so many good comments. Okay, NASA's budget shouldn't be on the chopping block. Cutting funding to space exploration is cutting off a future. Science, innovation, and global leadership all take a hit.
Hmm.
Jersey Starman, add in inflation and how much more things cost these days, and you have a failure written all over it. Truly sad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read one more from Ron here. Politicians don't spend money wisely, despite the science fiction stories about evil corporate actors in space. Our future in space will have to be commercial. It needs to be monetized to continue flying. Mm. Yeah, there's a. I mean, this is a. It's a pretty deep topic. Nick and I were talking about this like off camera, but it really is going to be interesting to see how the future of NASA will look like. You know, um, I don't know. It might be early to say, but just based on the, pure speculation, I really think it's going to be a pretty significant change.
All right, here's a number. So I'm going to trust this calculator here. So you guys, please, as always, with anything we say and with anything anybody on the internet says, please fact check. Verify anything you hear just to make sure. But here's to the best of my knowledge. So NASA's budget in 1969 was about $4.2 billion, which equates with inflation to about $36.5 billion. So that's way big of a jump back then. Whereas, like, today, what is it, 24 being cut to 18 billion?
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty
Damn.
steep.
Yeah.
But I mean, imagine back then how much national morale there had to be surrounding JFK's vision for landing humans on the moon by the end of the decade, and everybody just be like, yeah, throw money at it, let's go. Whereas today, it seems like public interest is at an all-time low, and people are way more concerned with a lot of other things to keep it, focused on space. But let's talk about some of those things that have been cut, because that's ultimately what I think I wanted to bring up, because they impact so much of what has been exciting about space for the last at least 10 years, if not a little bit more. So they're taking a $2.3 billion cut to NASA science. So I'm not sure exactly what that specifically means, but I'm assuming that means a lot of that research is happening at the different facilities, just kind of behind the scenes. Think, for example, like there are people who are still studying the lunar samples from the surface of the moon from the Apollo missions. Like today, they're still studying that. Like that's just one example where maybe that program might get a pretty steep budget cut. And then every other possible thing, there's biological science, medical science, physics and chemistry sciences that are all going to get a hit. There was actually a proposed program, I think that was in motion to some degree, to do a Mars sample return. So they were going to have a probe land there that could take a sample of Mars and then jettison with a small rocket from the surface of Mars back into orbit and have it come back, if I remember that correctly. But now I guess they're canceling that program. They're going to... Okay, let's talk about this. The current program is the Artemis program for human spaceflight. So that includes the SLS, the Space Launch System, and Orion capsule, which has already done Artemis 1 a couple years ago. Artemis 2 is technically slated to launch later this year. That's humans around the moon. And then Artemis 3 in the coming years, Artemis taking humans to the surface of the moon. But I guess they're officially going to be terminating that program. Well, I should not say officially. They're proposing that they're going to terminate the Artemis program after Artemis 3, which is a whole discussion in itself. In addition...
Interesting.
Yeah. The Gateway space station, which is the Lunar Gateway or the Lunar Space Station that's supposed to go around the moon, a big international partnered program. It's being built right now. Like it's very far along. They're apparently going to eliminate the United States portion of that or terminate the program altogether. They're going to reduce the cadence, I think, or at least the size of the crew for ISS crews from the United States. And I think they're going to continue to push for that 2030 end time for the space station, which has been in effect for a while. But there has been a lot of speculation of whether or not that was going to get extended again, but it seems less and less optimistic that that'll be the case. And there's there's a whole other list of reductions, but those are some of the bigger hits that I noticed. And they're honestly, I mean, really demoralizing if you're a fan of space.
Yeah, I think this is a tricky one. And I also don't know enough about all of the proposed plans and whatnot to really give, like a confident and accurate, um, I don't know, opinion. But I, I understand both sides. It's a tricky one. I think sometimes we do have to make really tough cuts to allocate for other things. Um, Obviously, as someone who loves space, I mean, this hits home.
Mhm.
It's all I think about. So yeah, sure. There's gonna be a little bit of like, dude, what the heck? Like this can't happen. But at
Right.
the same time, maybe to an extent, maybe some of it needs to happen. Maybe we can compromise with some kind of balance, and I don't know what that looks like. So
Right.
don't come at me, all right? I'm
Yeah.
just this is my simple brained response here. There's always what I'm trying to say is there's always two sides of the coin, and
Mhm.
sometimes even when I don't understand the other side, I try to at least position myself where I ask, why is this happening, or why does it make sense to that side? Why do we need
Yep.
these budget cuts for something that is so, I think, is so important to humanity? I don't know. It's a tough one.
You're right. You're pulling up that phrase we talk about quite a bit. Seek to understand,
Yeah,
because it's easy to look at headlines and formulate an opinion that has a lot of angst behind it, and then just start throwing hammers. You know.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I highlighted this comment. I wanted to bring it back up again from Jersey Star Man. First of all, what's happening, man? Budget still needs to be approved by Congress, which is true. I do want to make that super clear. This is a proposed budget for next year, um, and it's likely that much of this will be tweaked and rewritten, or some of that will happen, others won't. We have to see yet. But either way, the fact that stuff like this is even on the table is not one of those things that I think is encouraging for a bright future for NASA in terms of its traditional image. Is maybe the way that it's perceived, it has been perceived over the last 60 years, is really kind of at stake in a way. So it feels kind of sad because, um, when I think about growing up during the space shuttle program, spaceflight was just normal, and there was just always this rotation of shuttles going up all the time. It lasted 30 years. It was standing on the shoulders of Skylab and the Apollo program. There's this incredible legacy, and it always felt like there was always somebody trying their best to move forward. And I think that's still true of NASA today, but it can't go anywhere without that support, that financial support to make those programs happen. And, you know, again, staying kind of like focused on the space aspect, but still commenting on this, like there's so much in this country right now that is feeling so much like very like reduced from like what we expect to be normal. Like, let's just use that example of like, hey, eggs cost $15. Like, there's that feeling of like things feel different. And as a kid, I'm thinking about a child who is going to be growing up in America who might not know what it is to have a space program that's pushing the limits anymore. Um, eggs are expensive. There's no space program. Like, it just changes the narrative. And I'm curious how that's going to affect the next generation. Because I think the last several generations have grown up thinking I might be the next Neil Armstrong, you know? So just curious how this is going to go. It might be more optimistic, but if Artemis disappears, will future Americans think of NASA in the same way that we do, and that pretty much all of us have in the chat? That's my question.
Yeah, I am going to give you a more optimistic take.
Mm-hmm.
Um, James says, hopefully we continue to innovate and progress in our efforts and abilities for space exploration despite budget cuts. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't see this as a okay. I do see it as a blow. I could definitely look through the lens as that, but I could also say, hey, here's a good chance for people to come together, whether it's private sectors or just small little organizations here and there, working together to, let's just say, stand on the shoulders of NASA,
Mhm.
lift them up a little bit. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to pass the torch.
Mhm.
Um, in other words, yes, NASA could maybe be seen through a different lens moving forward. However, I don't think that necessarily mean that it's the end of space and exploration and anything and everything that NASA stood for. Perhaps this could be an opportunity for again for humans to come together, maybe just a little bit differently.
Mhm.
So that's where my head's at. That's where I'm really hoping. Otherwise, then yeah, it sucks. But I I'm hopeful, and I'm hopeful that there are humans like us, which with much larger, deeper pockets that are still excited about space and want to pave the way moving forward. And I don't know, I don't think anyone knows what that looks like, but I'm hopeful, chat. I'm hopeful, man, because yeah, that's a tricky one.
I'm hopeful too. I think it's just continuing worth it to continue to at least look at the reality of how things will change and be different. You know,
Hmm.
um, I mean, and the way things have been the last couple of decades are different from they were when they were in the 60s and 70s. It's never the same. Um, but I think my biggest concern is the kind of the tip of the spear. I think NASA, 100%, it's still going to exist. It's still going to be doing amazing things to advance science and STEM fields, no matter what. It's still going to be pushing us along the frontier. But like we've kind of talked about in past episodes, it's the general public. I think they don't see that because they don't even
Mm,
know it exists. It's there, but most people have no idea. I think most people think like the average person who doesn't take any interest in spaceflight, who sees something, they just think astronauts go up there to do flips. That's it. Like they don't
wait,
think
they don't do anything else?
right. Like and that's kind of been my experience with talking with people who are not in tuned to like space news and current events in space. Like so I guess my biggest concern is that visibility, that tip of the spear, the front line aspect. If that disappears, we have a blunt spear. The rest of it's still, the spear's still there, but I think the average person is not going to see those headlines of America lands on the moon again, unless it's with the assistance of a commercial agency, which I think was bound to happen anyway and is already going to happen. That's already part of the Artemis
Mm,
program. Is the human landing system, or the lunar landing systems are going to be in Blue Origin and SpaceX anyway. Um, it's just curious. It's just curious to me to try to anticipate how it's going to look and how that will inspire or, like, for a lack of better term, demoralize American morale,
mhm.
and American pride in their space agency. There's going to, without a doubt, if these kinds of cuts happen, that will be taken away. And how will generations to come be inspired? Will it be continued to be by SpaceX because they're doing stuff all the time that are pushing the frontier in ways that NASA was never trying, like reusable rockets or the largest rockets ever built. Being able to take crews of 100 on a ship instead of a crew of 7 or 3, like pushing the limits in ways that even with a proper budget, NASA was never going to be trying. So will kids continue to look towards these innovators in the private sector? And will NASA go the way of the Western? I don't know. I'm just curious.
Mm, yeah, I guess only time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
There's a comment here from Jersey Starman that I really enjoyed. Enjoy reading here. Nick just made me think of Interstellar. NASA being hidden, but continuing to innovate. Is that our future?
Mm.
I'm
I
leaning
love that
towards
reference.
yes. Yeah, I am leaning towards yes.
Yeah.
Um,
As long as it's run by
Nat,
Michael Caine.
that's just going to be an OG,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. I think we're all kind of just riding the wave together here. You know.
Yeah. And I think like I was really hopeful myself as a fan of space to see it, even if NASA goes this strange direction of backing off. Like I think I was hopeful to at least see the end of the Artemis program. I think what for me personally is hard to fathom is seeing it prematurely be shut down. You know, like they're literally constructing and stacking the Artemis 2 rocket right now. Um, the solid rocket boosters and the external fuel tank, they're all being assembled. The capsule is being built. It's supposed to be launching very soon. And knowing that like there's people training and spending their careers like preparing this, and to have it just like disappear, that's what's hard. It would be nice to be like, oh yeah, like we made it to like Artemis 22 and then it's like, we ran out of money, let's call it a day. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll change. Maybe they will go past Artemis 3 and they'll extend it to like 6 or something. Who knows? That'd be cool.
Now that you mention it, we had Herb Baker on a couple episodes ago. I, it would have been really interesting to kind of hear his take on this because he got to live through the Apollo missions, worked on the Artemis, and just yeah, just to see it, where it stands now. I wonder how much that impacts him. You
Mhm.
know?
You make a good point because in his book, when he got assigned to some of those programs, he was originally part of the Constellation program, which
Hmm.
was proposed during the George W. Bush administration, um, and that became Artemis.
Oh wow.
So that program looked completely different, and they
Hmm.
basically just kept the Orion capsule, and then they redesigned the rocket altogether, and they scrapped that during the Obama administration, and then they kind of reformed it into the Artemis program later, and that was something that Herb experienced first, like firsthand, to be a
So
part of
cool.
that. Um, and I can't remember. I think we asked him about that in the show. It was like, what's it like to be a part of things that change and evolve over time from the original vision, right? Um, I myself have to go back and listen for that moment because I don't remember his answer. But you're right. I think he'd be somebody who would have a lot to say about this recent news item and maybe his predictions for what could come to pass. But
Yeah.
you know, and that's the thing I think to note is this is not the first time stuff like this has happened and or proposed to be happening. So it's going to go the way it goes, and that's okay.
Yeah. Real quick, Nick, there's so much going on in the chat here.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give a huge congratulations to Caitlin. Was it Caitlin? Someone just watched Interstellar for the first time. I think okay. Caitlin watched it for the first time in November, and Tanzanite has not seen Interstellar yet.
Oh,
Um,
what?
yeah, for anyone listening as well, I mean, obligatory. Like it is a mandatory watch if you are into space. Arguably one of the better or maybe even greatest space movie of all time, or it's up there at least.
Yeah,
Hello, Melissa.
that's incredible though. Yeah, can't endorse it enough. Tan said it though.
Yeah.
One of the best space movies ever.
One last thing I want to add to the whole budget cut thing. This is I don't want it to become a slippery slope, but I'm kind of curious. Based on the reaction from the public about like the Katy Perry thing and Blue Origin,
Yeah.
I just wonder if right now, under the current climate that the country's in, maybe the world even, if we were to successfully move forward with the Artemis mission, would it yield the feedback that we want, which is, holy crap, dude, we did it. We're on the moon again.
Mm.
Or is it going to be like, great, we got more astronauts that are spending millions and millions of dollars, and I'm over here trying to buy eggs?
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of, without getting too political, I'm just kind of curious what you guys think, and also what you think as well, Nick.
Sure. Hmm.
Will the country be excited, or will it be 50-50 about it? Or will it even lean towards, why are you guys doing this right now?
I think you'll certainly get both opinions. Everything I think in life is a parabola. And by that I mean like a plottable line on a graph. So if you ever see that bell curve on a graph, that parabolic curve, there's about 10 to 20% that cover this extreme. Then there's, a bulk that cover this portion, this middle portion, like, 60%. And then there's an extreme that covers this side. So I think you'll certainly get the rising and from both sides covered. You'll get both opinions of this is the most exciting thing to happen to human space exploration ever. And then you'll get this is the worst thing for America ever. You'll get people that say both extremes. And I think most people will live in that middle realm where it's sort of like a, yeah, that's cool. Neat.
Yeah. Tanzanite makes a good point. I think it would because it's not famous people buying their way into space.
Yeah.
But what if that happens? What if Blue Origin says, you know what, dude, why not? Like, we can do it too.
But here's the thing. Artemis 3 NASA will deliver American astronauts on the Orion craft to the moon, which as it stands is supposed to dock with the Gateway Station, which is where an uncrewed lander from either Blue Origin or SpaceX will be docked to it. Then they'll transfer to that craft, which will take them to the lunar surface and back. And then they'll come home on Orion. So it's not even an entirely clean program from that sort of like billionaire commercial space flight influence. So even if that does happen in the next, say, 5 years, there still will be some wrap up in that. So I'm curious, based on what you're saying, like, I certainly think there will be an element of people that will have a lot to say about, it's NASA could never have done this without Elon Musk, or NASA could never have done this without Jeff Bezos, or why do Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have anything to do with this? You'll get both sides of the parabola to comment on it. But yeah, I even that, I think the average person would probably still be aware, maybe if they read in the news that those companies still had a part in it, Blue Origin and SpaceX.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a fair point. It is always going to be two sides of the coin. I just had to highlight this because I completely agree with this one. Unfortunately, Jersey Starman says, honestly, the public is more reluctant to believe anything. 75%, although that's a pretty steep number, would think it's AI. What a time we live in. It's a crazy number, and I am not opposed to like disagreeing with you. Sure, that's completely fair. You know what I mean? I hate it is completely fair. All of us here who are interested in space, there is an inevitable time where you run into a comic section and you're like, why is this a discussion? Right? So sure, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's eventually, I hope there's some structure in place that helps mitigate AI confusion, like visual AI confusion. I have no idea what that's going to be or if that's even possible. All I'm expressing is I hope there is something that comes into play for monumental moments like this, because it's more than just, something else. Like right now, a lot of people always like tend to comment about people on the space station, like, oh, like they're just on strings floating there, or whatever it is. It's not that, like, there's so much more at stake with a moon landing, humans on the moon, So I'd be curious. I think a lot of people will probably take that stance. I also want to highlight this viewpoint as well. Melissa Bunny said, it's a cool idea to be back on the moon, but I feel the money could be put towards something more important, at least right now. I think that's also an extremely valid viewpoint for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said for hard times. I think no matter who you are, we're all kind of experiencing something in some fashion, and it's going to look different for everybody and on a different scale. So I'm curious, how that, if we'll hear more of that too, and if that's also the kind of the consensus of the public too. Like if that's what people want, then rightfully so, Congress should shift money towards other places. I think that's something maybe we didn't talk about is, does NASA deserve priority money? If it's kind of the tip of the spear of human exploration, human existence, like, does it even deserve it? It deserve priority? Or is it okay to have seasons where other places that maybe have been underserviced or underprioritized now suddenly get a little bit more of a benefit? I don't know.
Yeah, I lean towards the latter.
And there's a lot of right answers.
Yeah. So many good comments here. I'm gonna scroll back real quick. Richard John says, "Oh, we're going back to the moon, no doubt, but under Space Force, hotels in space." They made fun of me when I suggested such. Hotels in space. I am totally down for that. Just enroll. Ron Colson also added, "Retirement homes on the moon. Lower gravity is easy on old bodies." A recent astronaut in his 70s made this point. Dude, that is incredible. I want to retire on the moon. I just want to be floating around doom scrolling on TikTok for the rest of, my last, whatever.
Yeah, listening to like Lil Jon.
Yeah. Ron, that's a really, really, really good point.
Dude, yeah, that's crazy. Can you imagine that reality where one day human spaceflight is so normalized that it's almost like a joke, like where you might very commonly and offhandedly say to an old person, "Yeah, well, you belong on the moon." Like, you know what I mean? But it would imply that when you're old, you get sent up there. Like,
yeah.
there might be a day where that's the case.
There probably will be.
And
it's going to come with all the other things. Just society on the moon is going to be really interesting to think about. There's going to be all these levels, and maybe the super wealthy will be on this skyscraper, and I don't know.
There's going to be classes.
We'll be floating around for crumbs. You and I will be floating around on the bottom looking for crumbs.
There's going to be prime real estate on the earth facing side of the moon, and the cheap places are going to be on the far side that never see
the slums. Yeah.
Right. Moon slums. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, this is going to be a crazy future. I mean, we might be the first generation, dude, to retire on the moon.
I don't think we'll see it, but wishful thinking. To the moon, Alice. I don't understand this reference.
Honeymooners, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
Help me out, chat.
Bam, zoom, straight to the moon or something like that, right? One of these days, Alice. Goodness gracious. Yeah, well, either way, we can maybe wrap that topic up. It's a very hot topic. It's a fresh topic, and certainly will be a developing topic, right? Maybe not next week or over the next couple weeks or months, but whenever they actually do the congressional hearing to approve that, we certainly can do our best to bring you guys the most current information on the topic. And we always love discussing it. So as always, please leave comments wherever you can with us, with your thoughts on it, and let us know. And maybe we can talk about that a little bit more in upcoming episodes. But for now, I think it's a really good place to stop it. Oh my gosh, we lost Tan. Where did he go? Tan, where'd you go? I think he's gone. Guys, do you know where Tan is? Did he float away into space? Is he gone?
Nick, can you hear my thoughts?
Oh my gosh. Tan, are you there?
Wait a second. How is this happening?
Are you inside my head?
I am. Are you inside my head?
I am.
Holy crap. Let's just continue the podcast because no one can hear us.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about. Never mind.
Yeah, space Taco Bell.
Yes. Dude, finally something worth talking about. Dude, I did the thing where I clicked the shortcut button on the mouse and it backed me out. It backed me out, dude.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was very curious what what the
Yeah.
situation was.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh my gosh. We're a bunch of hooligans.
Let's move on, shall we?
Let's move on.
Uh, guys, if you didn't know, tonight is the peak. Well, tonight going into tomorrow morning is the peak of the Aquarids. It's going to favor mostly the southern hemisphere, but if you guys get up pretty early, um, I'd say around like between 3 and 5 a.m. if you're up in the northern hemisphere, Aquarius is going to be pretty decently high up. That's probably going to be the best time to catch any shooting stars. So, yeah, now you know. Go out and try to catch one.
I'm gonna be going out there. I'm gonna be jumping around trying to catch it. I'm gonna get my baseball mitt. See what happens.
Do it. Do it.
Do what I will.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. You guys know I love me some meteor showers. Surprisingly, tonight is going to be probably the best forecast of the entire week.
Hmm.
It's by best forecast I mean it's going to be like partly cloudy. At least that's what it's showing. So
Okay.
I'll probably end up trying to catch a few stars later.
Everybody, raise your hand in the chat if you're gonna hang out with Tan. And you're gonna be streaming.
I probably will.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really good chance. I don't want to gatekeep it.
Yeah.
Will there be a party tonight? It's looking pretty good, Chris. How about you? Is it last week spoke, it wasn't looking great. He became translucent. He went to retire on the moon. You guys are funny. Seawards here in New Mexico. Wow, Seawards. Oh, yikes. Okay. All right. I will carry that torch proudly tonight.
Sweet.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to poke my head out if I can and see if I get lucky for the 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm able to see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nick, can I dump a random, really super quick topic?
Oh yeah, dude. Go
Not
for
even
it.
a topic, just more of like a comment.
Mhm.
Guys, I'm gonna give you a quick little backstory. There was a time where I went to the movie theaters every single week. I would take my mom out a lot. She loves movies. Half the time she would just end up like falling asleep, but she just loved going. And somewhere down the road, I stopped enjoying movies, and I think it was because movies just weren't that good anymore. I felt like I was paying too much for food and drink just to see a very mediocre movie that I could have rented on bootleg or just waited. However, I recently watched a movie in the theaters that far exceeded my expectations. In fact, I would say it's the greatest movie of the year, probably for a long time. It is called Sinners, unrelated to astronomy. It's got vampire lore, and that is all I'm going to say in it. But it is unlike any movie that I've seen in a really, really long time. And where I'm going with this is, guys, it made me remember why I enjoyed going to movies. So if you have a chance, this is one of those movies, almost like Interstellar, where if you have the opportunity to actually go to a theater and watch it, go see it. Don't wait for it to come out. It's not the same. Like you need to watch this um, with a full theater experience. So that is all. I know it's unrelated, but I just felt so compelled to tell you guys to go see this dang movie. It's called Sinners. 10
So
out
it's
of 10.
do you say 10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
It's one of those movies that permeates your being after you walk out of the theater, right? Is that what you experience where you kind of can't stop thinking about it?
Beyond that, like I'm ready to go see it again.
Okay.
And it's pretty rare that I would want to go see a movie again immediately. But I was just like, how is this even real? These are the movies that we like deserve. I think I'm just so tired of like really mediocre cookie cutter type movies. So yeah, guys, please go see it if you can.
I'm curious, Tan. I need to know the truth. Were you approached by a man with a trench coat outside of the theater, and did he bribe you? That's a huge gulp. Yeah.
It was a damn good movie.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, dude. I have not seen it. But I think you're right. There are definitely still movies out there that should not be ignored in theaters. They're made for theaters. And I think a lot of us, myself included, I've done this so many times now in the last couple of years. I've used streaming as a crutch for the cinematic experience. And that is not what they're intended for. Like, I've got a solid experience downstairs. I got a decent TV. I got a sound system that's good enough. I often be like, yeah, I'll just watch it on that. But you miss out so much on the immersion and the feeling that comes from a full room with a giant screen and speakers all around you, and there's that you can't have in a home.
Yeah.
And that's it does change the experience. It's the final leg of the race. It takes you to the finish line. And I think there are some movies, like you said, that must be seen in theaters. Interstellar was one of them.
Yes.
Absolutely. Guaranteed.
In hindsight, I know this is a movie that I 100% would have regret not seeing in theaters. It would have haunted me till forever. Just again, guys, go see Sinners in the theaters if you can. I promise you, it is just such a well-written story. And welcome in, Godfather. We got a Galactic Window veteran in the house.
What's up, Joe? How's it going, man? Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome coming by. Welcome.
One more thing. Johnny said, I haven't been to the movie in years. It's ridiculous now. Dude, if there's one movie to just jump right back in, it's this one. This movie might make you want to go every week and spend all your money on movies and overpriced popcorn and drinks.
Oh my gosh.
Do it, you won't.
Shout out to Richard Jones for supporting the Galactic Window Space podcast, dropping
oh my god
subs, memberships in the chat.
Money.
That one felt really loud. Was that loud?
No, it was
okay.
Really tame, actually.
The two-time guest, the two-time back-to-back blockbuster champion.
In 1994, blockbuster champion.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so freaking much.
W's in the chat for Richard Jones.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness gracious. Also, shout out to Wildfire tuning in over on Twitch. Thank you for continuing to keep that platform alive.
The purple app.
The purple app.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, dude, do you want to shift focus to 1 week from right now?
Holy crap. 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I need to get it off my chest.
Yeah. I know you guys, we can't shut up about it. We can't, but we have to just get some final details out of our brains for you guys. Episode 50 being next week, 1 week from right now. We'll actually be wrapping up the show this moment, 7 days from right now. Episode 50, right here on YouTube, live, also Twitch. We'll be at Yerkes Observatory in Williams Bay, Wisconsin. And we'll be doing this amazing multi-camera experience for you guys from the main dome of the observatory. And we'll be having a conversation with Dr. Amanda Bauer, who is the deputy director of the facility and also the head of science and education as well. So she really intimately knows the history of the observatory, what goings on are happening at the moment, and as well as the goals and the anticipated future of the facility as well. So we're going to be covering all those topics, which is amazing. We'll give you guys a little bit of a view of the building while we're there. And we're kind of melting at this point. Tan, how many hours do you think you and I have spent talking just in the last 4 days about this?
Equivalent to 3 podcasts of ours, maybe. I don't know. A lot.
Yes.
A lot.
And it's been great. We're sourcing the final things we need. We're getting a little extra creative with some of the elements that we're adding, which lead to this claim. This one will be the most produced episode we've ever had, guaranteed.
All AI, basically.
Yeah. It's just one chat GPT prompt. And we're spending months writing it. So we'll get there eventually.
It's a completely different people. It's some other white guy and some other yellow dude.
Oh, discount
That
Nick
would,
and discount
yeah,
Tan.
dude, that'd be so awesome. Yeah.
Oh gosh. But yeah, it's now we're within striking distance, like right, like 1 week away.
Hmm.
For so long it's been 10 more episodes, 5 more episodes, one more episode. It's tonight, one more episode. After this, it is the next episode. So we're going to be spending every ounce of our free energy between now and then trying to get our final ducks in a row and to make this the best possible experience for you guys that we can.
Hmm.
But just know this: we are having so much fun doing this. This there's a lot of work and effort going to it, but every second of it has been fun. Like I am excited every time I get to write something down in my notebook. I get to make a call, send an email, coordinate something. Every second of it is an absolute joy, and I feel so alive doing it. Like I really do. And it's a very, very cool experience to have to prepare for something like this. And
Hmm.
I know it's going to go extremely well. We're going to have a blast. And then just like that, at 10 o'clock next week, it's going to be over.
We'll be talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really quick, I want to shout out. What's up, Zach? How's it going, man? Thanks for tuning
What
in. This is a
up?
friend of mine. Glad you're
Ooh,
here,
a
man.
friend IRL.
IRL, yeah.
Well, I mean, this is all IRL, but you know what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. So
Super
go ahead.
kind words, real quick. Sorry.
Mhm.
So proud of how far the two of you have come.
Mm.
That means so much, dude. You have no idea. That means a lot.
Yeah.
Also, looks like I missed a birthday. Yesterday's Johnny Rocks had a birthday yesterday. Dude,
Dang.
happy belated, bro.
Dude, yeah. Here's a W. Happy birthday, brother.
I got you on a ticket to go see Sinners. If you actually would go, dude, DM me. Give me your cash app.
Oh, snap.
You got to go see it. Happy birthday.
Can you hit the Murney button?
Murney! I love you!
Yeah, man. On me.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things that we want to do tonight regarding next week, because there's some items that we need your help with, essentially. So
Mhm.
Tan and I want to engage with you guys here. So if you guys are maybe getting drowsy, we're 55 minutes in the show, drink some coffee, wake up.
Yeah.
Time to hulk up and hang out with us here, because we need your help. So let's talk. Tan, what do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
Mhm.
Real quick, SoCal Gloria asked, what's the start time for episode 50? It's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Central. Great question. I know we're all like 9 p.m., right? Normally, this episode is going to be an exception. 8:30 p.m. Central.
Mm-hmm. Dropped it here on the screen for you guys. So if you are watching and you need a visual interpretation, there you go. My gosh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's dive in. Let's talk about the 50th episode at Yerke's Observatory.
Mm-hmm. So we've mentioned to you guys that one of the key focuses of this episode is to use this as an opportunity to give back to the scientific community, which in short is we're going to be hosting a little bit of a fundraiser for Yerke's, because the facility operates on donations. And it's run by, I'm pretty sure, like it's just a non-for-profit, organization that was formed just a few years ago when they purchased the building from, was it University of Chicago, whatever educational institution owned it before. They had to fundraise to save the facility, because it was, I think, at stake for just being shut down and decommissioned. And I don't know about demolished, but I think it was at some point it was like, yeah, it's on the line. This organization was formed by a group of people, and they came in and they raised the funds, bought the facility, and they renovated it for the future. So we want to come alongside them. They're gifting us this opportunity to show up, and it's a really amazing thing that they're doing for us. And we're like, how can we give back? How can we help keep what we love, which is exploring the night sky, alive? And this is literally a direct way to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a donation link in the description of the video for next week. And during that episode, all 90 minutes, we're going to try to hit a fundraising goal together. And this is where you guys can come in. If this is something that maybe you're passionate about, and you want to watch science and space exploration continue through Yerkes Observatory, perhaps inspiring future generations of children from all over the world who come and tour this historic facility, keeping its doors open will do that for the next generation. If this place shuts down at some point, that's one less opportunity that kids have to be inspired to buy a telescope, or maybe have interest in going out to ask a question about what is that in the night sky, or maybe should I become an astronaut? Those kinds of questions happen in places like this. So Tan and I are going to show up ready to participate, and we want to invite you guys into that as well. So come prepared for that part of it in next week's show. So that's kind of the gist of what we're going to be doing. So just want to make sure that's super clear for you guys, that it'll be a component that we're doing, and we're excited about it. Like, we're really, really thrilled about it.
Yeah. It's guys, just to be super transparent, it's like, it's one thing to be blessed with a lot of your guys' support, right? That seriously is just something that is extremely incredible whenever you guys gift subs or send supers. But there's something else about doing it for a cause, for something that is much, much bigger than us. Yeah, I'm kind of like new to the fundraising for, like, I don't know. This is exciting, and just the fact that we're gonna be doing it somewhere so special is, dude. Edward Hubble hung out here, bro. Carl Sagan, just to be able to sit in that room, the same room that they did, I think is already like checks everything off for me, right? So I think just as a way to say thank you and hopefully inspire others. Yeah, I thought, we both thought it would be a good idea. Just let's see if we can reciprocate the love and show them as much support as we can. So we're asking for your guys' help.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the ways we're going to measure this is we are going to have a goal, a target number that we'd like to hit. And once we hit that, we're actually going to do sort of like a, hey, we all win sort of moment. We're actually going to do a little bit of like a prize for everybody who's present during the live stream. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be aiming for a target of $500 for the whole night, which might be a lot. It might not be enough. I don't know. And by that, but not enough is the wrong way to say it, but it might not be a huge number. It might be a small number.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Even if we only raise $1, that's fine. Like, absolutely 100%. But we thought, hey, let's aim right here. And I think that's something that as a community, we can come around and feel like, hey, we can do this together. And that would be a really wonderful thing to be able to give to Yerkes. So, but once we hit that number, what we're going to do is we're going to offer like an exclusive like prize for everybody who's there present. Doesn't matter if you've donated or not.
Yeah.
But it will only be available during the stream, and it'll be like a digital asset that we'll be giving you guys. So that's, again, it's going to be exclusive to the stream. So if you miss the live event, you will not have access to it afterwards. So
right.
keep that in mind.
But if you are in the stream, then everyone wins. I hope that makes sense. You do not have to donate anything to enter, but entry is just simply being there. So hope that makes sense. Jersey Starman asks, is the Yerkes Observatory doing an email blast for the event? I'm pretty sure they're going to be running some promotionals on their end. I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, they have. I know they've been promoting it on social media. They shared our announcement video last week, or a week or so ago. And I can't remember if they have done one on their email blast, but they did tell us they'd be including it in their weekly email, which goes to over 7,000 people, which is super cool. So to the best of my ability, they might be mentioning it in this week's. So, but I'm not sure.
Cool.
Kind of on that note, though, we also have been talking about trying to have this be just a huge community event. Let's like bring as many people as possible from our community to show up.
Yeah.
Which is
trying to break some records, yo.
Yeah. It's just for fun, like there's nothing at stake, there's no really incentive for this other than to just shoot for a goal and have fun doing it in the process. But we shared with you guys, like, I think our peak for viewership concurrently in an episode is about 50, and that was episode 12. So and we usually have a consistent base of you guys who tune in weekly. Right now we've got 24 people tuning in, which is amazing.
Shout out to every single one of you guys.
Yeah.
Even if you have 6 phones that are watching the stream, thank you for doing that.
Yeah. Like whatever it is, so grateful. And we're just like, hey, what can be the next coolest thing? So our target for viewership is to have 100 people in the lobby, which would be insane. Seeing that first time we'll ever hit 3 figures.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. And I think there's a really great chance because there's so many of you guys who tune in weekly. There are a lot of people who are going to be brand new who come in from Yerke's side of promotion who I don't know who they might be. They could be families. They could be research people, like people at other facilities all around the world who just partner with Yerke's. I don't know. They might show up. And even if we don't hit 100, I don't care. I really don't. Like, we can fall anywhere on that spectrum. It's just like the donation. It doesn't matter. Even if we just had one person in the stream, it's still gonna be fun. We're still gonna have a good time. But I think it's just so much more alive when we can just have a fun. Like let's try to break the ceiling a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna try that. We're gonna shoot for the stars, y'all. So, what we're asking is just a simple share. If you think someone would enjoy this, share it out. We understand, 8:30 could be late for some people. Everyone's got their own stuff. If you can't make it, please do not go out of your way, pull over to the side of the road or do anything crazy just to attend this. But if you are not doing anything, just know that simply just showing up, even if it's for a couple minutes, just say hi. That goes so far. So again, we've been talking about this episode for so long. We're obviously really excited about it, and we just want to, I don't know, we just want to just try something new and see what happens. This is a pretty rare opportunity, and I think I just want to give it our all. And you guys are such a huge support. I saw Richard Jones says, I'll be there to support. I know a lot of you guys are going to be there. Thank you guys so much. Let's try to get to 100 people. I think that's a pretty fair number.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you said, it is a go big or go home kind of experience. Like if we're going to be swinging this hard, like why not complete the swing? Let's go follow through,
Yeah.
And
cool.
In the following week we can come back and we can relax a little bit, and it's okay if we have 5 people here. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Johnny Rock says spacesuits.
Yeah.
We'll consider it. We'll consider it with the full on helmet and everything. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, guys, 8:30 p.m. Central. Nick and I will be reminding you guys. It'll probably feel like nagging, but we'll make sure that you guys know that it's going to be 8:30 p.m. Central on the 12th.
Right.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. That's next week.
Yeah.
That is next for Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to all the moms in the house.
That's right. W moms.
Yeah, W moms. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the other components that we want to talk with you guys about tonight is the discussion we'll be having with Dr. Bauer. So this is, again, one of those rare chances we get where we have a guest. And this is the first time we've ever had the chance to interview somebody in person. So Tan and I will be sitting over here. She'll be sitting over here, and we'll be actually face to face. It will not be a remote caller. She'll be with us, which is so cool. So the energy
that's right.
is going to be unlike anything we've done on the show. And I'm so ready for it. Like I really am ready for it. It's going to be so much fun. But we're contemplating, what is the structure of the discussion? And we have a really good idea of where we're going to go with that. But we wanted to give you guys, everyone who's viewing right now, a chance to be a part of this. Obviously it's Tan and I in the room, but do keep in mind, all of you who are viewing are there with us as well. Like we are imagining you guys are all behind the cameras. Like that's how we hold this. So you're in this space, sharing in that energy, sharing in the experience with us. And what we want to ask of you right now is to contribute perhaps some questions that we can ask for you on your behalf,
Yes.
because we are all together in this. So the premise, of course, is we're going to be talking to Dr. Bauer about the past, present, and future of Yerkes Observatory. And also learning a little bit about her as well. She's got a really incredible educational background and outreach background for astronomy. So there's a lot to inquire about. And Tana and I can come up with questions all day, but you guys are going to come up with questions that we would never think of, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
like that's where you come in. So please, right now, feel free to in the chat, or if you're listening after the fact, like on a later day this week, leave a comment on this video and let us know a question that you might want us to ask of Dr. Amanda Bauer at episode 50.
Yeah.
It can be about any of those things we talked about. And maybe it's something not in those themes that, again, that we maybe just didn't have our brain wavelengths tuned into.
Yeah. I would say genuinely think of a question that if there was a chance for us to actually ask her, what would that question look like? You know? Yeah, that like Nick was saying, there's just I think sometimes like we're so tunnel vision, we kind of have an idea of what we would like to ask, but sometimes there's just there's so much space like outside of this that we just that are kind of like in our blind spots, right? And then you guys may be able to say, "Oh, I think this would be a great question." Just ask it in the chat right now. Let us know because we're going to feature some of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and the pressure on me and Tan, I think during that day is going to be so high that I think to some degree our brain space is going to be kind of clogged up, right? Like there's going to be a little bit of brain fog. So having you guys to be there alongside of us is going to actually help us out, cover that last bit of legwork that in the moment.
Help me.
Yeah. It'll help us be prepared, and versus be like, hey, in the moment we're like, hey, everyone ask your questions. Like, no, we've got a list of community questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much that you guys can think of, so don't be shy. And I've also said this before as well, and I've made videos about it on TikTok, but there is no such thing as a stupid question. If you think, hey, I don't really want to ask that, it's probably a stupid question. Like it's like a 99% chance that someone else has that same question. And the difference is courage and bravery.
Does she like spam?
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm talking about. It's just, do you have the courage to be bold and to pursue knowledge fearlessly? Right.
Yeah.
So ask your question, even if you think it's maybe not the most well put together question, or maybe the most obvious one or whatever. It's okay. It's okay. No big deal.
Yeah, we got a few good questions here. And also, guys, like, we're not trying to put you on the spot, too. If you can't think of one right now, literally just come back later this week and just drop it in the comments. So no pressure, but just know that you guys giving some questions asked is going to be awesome. Like, we really want to include you guys as a part of this, too. Just for being with us for so long. We want to include you guys.
Mm-hmm.
These are great questions.
Does she have a pair of Crocs? Says Blue Eyed in the chat. Yeah,
that goes top of the list question.
This is the stuff I'm talking about, though. This is great. This is great because I will ask a question like this. You know what I mean? Like it's just there is a human element to this that I really want to cater to as well. No such thing as a stupid question. Do you want to know the full phrase that I have in my mind about that? One of my high school teachers, one of my English teachers, he was one of my favorite teachers that I ever had. He used to say, "There's no such thing as stupid questions, just stupid people."
Big brain.
Which you kind of have to interpret that how you will, but I think ultimately the thing is the stupid question is the one that's not asked.
Agreed.
So your knowledge is and your ability is in your own hands, and when you ask a question you get smarter. So there is no such thing as a stupid question because you get smarter after every question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys are freaking awesome.
Yeah, it'll be great. So keep them coming. Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited. I'm trying to think here. What other angles do we need to cover with everybody while we have them? Well, we got you guys strapped in.
Yeah, while you guys are stuck here,
Yeah.
show up, share it out to a friend or 12. We're going to try to do our best to hit 100. We're going to try our best to hit $500. We're just going to try our best.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to do is we're going to do our absolute best. And if you guys want to be there to support, whether that's just watching, donating, supplying questions, whatever, we are extremely thankful for all of it.
To put that $500 into perspective too, if we hit our goal of hitting 100 people in there, and every single one of them just gave $5, we'd hit our goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is, and I also get it too. Like $5 is a lot of money. It certainly is. We already talked about the crazy costs of stuff tonight in the show, but like, it doesn't. You don't have to consider this as being like, I don't really feel like I've got $200 to throw around at something like that. Like, please do not hold it like that at all.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Literally a dollar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go outside of your means, guys. Just give what you can. Not what you want.
Right.
So,
yep.
There's no amount that is too little.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But again, we want to emphasize to everybody will walk away with something cool by the end of it if we hit our goal. And we're looking forward to that.
Everybody wins.
This is a good point, Blue Eyed. She says, hopefully you guys will make plenty of videos about it so we can repost on TikTok. Yes, this week we'll be doing some extra promotion. So whatever platform you follow us on and you see any of those videos, in particular TikTok, would you guys please reshare those things, repost them, and comment on them, and help us get as many people watching it as possible so they can be aware that it's happening.
Dude. Refuse to leave the observatory until you hit $500. There's probably going to be someone that we're going to be like right at like $499 and then everyone's going to refrain from sending that last dollar just to watch us.
They're all colluding together. All y'all have a private Discord, an anti Nick and Tan channel that's just dedicated to making sure we don't hit that milestone. It's like 6 a.m. the next day. We're just like bags under our eyes. We're like,
please
let us go home. We have to
That's so funny. Welcome in, Chaz. Shout out to Chaz and all the veterans out there. Thank you guys so much for your service.
Yes. Always thank you for the servicemen and women in military positions, first responder positions, whatever it is. You guys continue to give us the life that is a very special life, and we're grateful for that. Thank you. We get a chance to do that. Sweet. Yep.
Hold the last dollar until we see handcuffs.
Handcuffs? Oh my gosh.
The heck?
Goodness gracious. Well, cool. I think that's a great place to wrap up the show tonight. Call it right there.
Yeah, I feel good.
Me
I
too.
feel good. We're gonna focus. Yeah, we're just gonna focus the entire week to episode 50, and we're extremely excited about it. And we hope we see you guys there.
For sure. Next time we see you guys, we will be in a different space. We'll not be in our studios, but we will be on location. So strap in for the fun. That's all I can say.
I want to add one last guilt trip before I go. My 21st birthday is going to be in May 17th. All right. The only thing I want this year is to see you guys for episode 50. Okay? That is the only... There's a million things that I could ask for, and I only want one. And that's for you guys to show up. I'll be pretty sad. I'll be depressed if I don't see you guys.
That is one heck of a guilt trip, dude.
Please.
Oh my gosh. Here, hang on. I need to make an announcement really quick. Ladies and gentlemen, in lieu of a birthday present for Tan, make sure you show up to next week's episode, episode 50 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast, live from Yerke's Observatory. And make sure that's for Tan. Show up and show him some love by helping us hit 100 people concurrently in the live stream. Happy 21st birthday to Chasing the Milk.
Dude, love it. Love it. I don't know what you're talking about, Artie Jones. Awesome.
Oh my gosh. I should.
The only thing I want for my birthday is $500. We'll consider it.
You accept checks, says Gloria. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Cool. All jokes aside, no pressure, but also 7 years bad luck if you don't show up. 7 years.
You're pulling out all the woo-woo juice, man.
I need you guys to all be here. Yeah.
Tan's gonna be wishing upon a meteor tonight for
Oh my god.
for that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, cool. That was absolutely fun, guys. Again, 8:30 p.m. Central next Monday. We hope to see you guys there. Much love to everyone here. Or the tour guide's gonna kick you guys out.
Yeah.
And to your left, you'll see a wild chasing the milk.
What was that?
I don't know. That was a wild chase in the milk. We gotta end it, dude. We gotta end it.
Oh my gosh, my stomach hurts so bad.
Broken Nick.
Clip it, chat. Clip it.
Mm. Good times. Good times.
I can't breathe, dude. I'm sweating so hard right now.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
Good times.
Yes.
Woo.
We need to stop. People, no one's wants to just watch me laugh and be an idiot. Oh my gosh.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you to every one of you, no matter where you are. We appreciate you. We love you. Cheers to you all. And you know the drill. We'll see you all on the other side.